Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Poor Man Mods. It's actually been a while since you've seen the Is300. The last video I did, which took a long time for me to get out just because I'm lazy and stupid, and I didn't really finish it all the way, but the last time you saw this car, I think the last time you saw this car was when we did the lowering springs and the lip to see if it improved fuel economy, and it actually did. And there's another mod I want to do to this to further improve the fuel economy, or at least it theoretically should, and that is a underdriven lightweight crank pulley. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're saying to yourself, screaming at the screen right now, that these are bad, they're going to kill your engine, and all these terrible things are going to happen. That might be true, but also might not be true. So, I totally agree, if you're running a high horsepower forced induction car, you should not run one of these. You should definitely be running a super damper or a fluid damper. But I ran a lightweight crank pulley on my Spec V. It was turboed. I took the stock harmonic bouncer off, threw one of these on, put about 60 or 70,000 miles on it with this pulley on, no issues at all, and to this day the car is running just fine. Now, some people say these will ruin the thrust bearings, which I totally believe it could be the case if you have a high horsepower, high revving application. But this is a practically stock Is300. I don't think I'm going to have that problem, and if I do, I'm willing to sacrifice myself and be the guinea pig for this. So we're going to throw this underdrive lightweight crank pulley on and see if we get a difference in fuel economy and see if it blows up. So to do this install, it's actually not that straightforward like it would be on the Supra. The radiator is actually in the way because there's just not enough clearance. So the radiator has to come out, and I actually have a leak in my AC condenser. So I'm going to be doing this pulley and the AC condenser at the same time. We've got to pull the radiator out, so it's going to get messy. So let's get up front and start draining that coolant. Hold on, before we get to the install, I forgot to make another announcement. You may or may not have heard, but I'm starting a second YouTube channel called Garage Life. So go subscribe to that. If you like the videos I do here for CJ's, CJ Pony Parts, all that, you'll like that channel. Some people have said that they get kind of annoyed when someone has multiple channels. I promise you won't regret subscribing to Garage Life, so go over and check that out. Please subscribe to it, and let's get on with the installation. Got the car jacked up, so now I'll take the radiator cap off so it can breathe and go down and drain the petcock. My favorite part. Draining coolant, which makes a freaking mess. This is gonna suck. And since I'm lazy, I'm just gonna let that there. Let it drain, and hopefully it doesn't tip over. Alright, we got the radiator drained. Now it's time to remove it. Gotta disconnect the electric fans. Gotta take the air box off too. God damn it. I'm tired of breaking fucking bolts. This part might not be entirely necessary, but I promise it's going to make it a lot easier getting this radiator out. I think that's all we needed to do. Oh, there's another connector, right? Alright, that should be it. It's really not that bad taking the radiator out. Oh, what's this? What the hell is this? Got one more sensor right here. Boom. And now we have some proper clearance for this crank bolt, because before the fans were about here and the radiator was about here. We didn't have any goddamn room. So now we have all the room in the world, and it should make removing this pulley a lot easier. But I also have to remove this AC condenser, but that's not going to be part of this video. Alright, now that we have access to the crank pulley, we actually still don't have enough access for my impact gun, but we do have room for a breaker bar now. I think this is a 22. It's a 22. You want to make sure the car's in gear with the parking brake on, and then you might be able to break this thing loose by yourself. Maybe. Oop. Might not be in gear. Alright, step on the brake.
I've been on the brake.
Damn it, Bobby.
Get it?
Yep.
Can I look it off?
Yep.
Can I play with the shifter?
Yep.
Are you sure?
Yep. And then you can set this belt aside because this pulley should be underdriven, which means we need a different belt anyway. So bye-bye, belt. So to get this crank pulley off, you are going to need a harmonic balancer removal tool, unless you're a magician. And you'll also need some 8x1 1/4 bolts. Hey, it works. It's amazing what the right tools can do for you. Finally. Got it off. Alright, so here is a side-by-side comparison of the OBX underdriven lightweight crank pulley. If I can, I'll have a link in the description to this one if you want it. But as you can see, the factory one is a balancer. This one isn't a balancer, it's just a pulley. But I really don't think anything is going to happen. I did this with my Sentra, which is a 4-cylinder, and it was more unbalanced, and nothing happened. This one weighs, I don't know, 5 or 6 pounds, and this weighs a pound or less. And as you can see, it's got a smaller diameter too. About, I would say, an inch overall. I think it's a 20% underdriven pulley. So what this does, say this is 10 inches around, just for example, say this is 10 inches around and this is 9 inches around. For every rotation, this is going to move the belt 10 inches and this one will move it 9, which means this one will move all the accessories less, which means the engine will be working less hard. So this should theoretically free up power. From being lighter and moving the accessories less. You probably won't notice it. I had one of these on my Camaro. You won't really notice anything with the alternator unless you have a serious sound system, and water pump and everything should be just as fine too. But I will let you know if I have any issues, so let's get this puppy installed. Now we just have to line this pulley up with the notch on the crankshaft. Oh ho ho! Yay! Look at that. I think the biggest performance benefit of this whole pulley is the color of it. I'm gonna tighten it up as much as we can now. Now we're gonna torque it to 230 foot-pounds. Ready, Phoenix? Ready? Yep. In gear and on the brake.
I'm in here and I'm on the brake.
All right, darling. All right. That's it. So I'm not sure exactly which belt we need, but I'm going to try this Dayco 74-inch belt. It's 2 inches shorter than the factory belt, so let's see if it fits.
Let me see the time. Those are this way. Out. Maybe you're not following what I'm trying to say.
All right, 75-inch belt is the money one. $75. Okay, so that is how you install a crank pulley on an Is300. Kind of annoying, the radiator has to come out, but I guess it is kind of a tight fit in there. You might be able to do it with the radiator off, or you might be able to do it without taking the radiator out if you have some kind of special tool, but for the tools I had, there definitely wasn't enough clearance. Drove the car, I think I put about 100 miles on it so far. No issues at all. There's no extra vibration or anything like that. I know that they say these are gonna kill your thrust bearings or whatever, but you know, on a super low power application like this and low revving, I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. If the engine blew up, I would challenge you to find evidence, definitive evidence that it was a result of this pulley. I ran one on my Turbo Sentra, which was a 4-cylinder, which is less balanced than the straight 6. And I ran that with 8 pounds of boost for a couple years. I put like 60,000 miles on that pulley, and there were 0 issues. So far I've had good luck. I wasn't able to get an accurate reading on fuel economy. I did get 28, but it could be higher. There was a bunch of bullshit that kept happening, but that's besides the point. Theoretically, it should definitely do something because it's turning all your accessories like 20 or 25% less, and it's less weight. So the theory's there. It's just whether or not it's going to blow up the engine, which I don't think it will. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. If I can, I'll try to provide links in the description down below for the pulley and for the belt that I used. And make sure you subscribe to Garage Life, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks.